Alright, what's up, guys? Tail Twins back at you with another video. Just watched the Steelers and Packers game, which completely got demolished, 51-34, I believe it was.
Yeah, I believe you are correct.
But it's only preseason. I'm not gonna, complain, a lot because it's just preseason. This win for the Packers and this loss for the Steelers really doesn't matter.
Right, and really preseason is just a time for guys who never played in the NFL to play in the NFL and give backups a chance to show what they are made of, and for the stars to stay healthy and get warmed up for the season. That's really what it is. But we will give a review on the performances that we've seen. So without further ado, let's just get into it. We're obviously going to start with the offense and the quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph, he actually started this game. He got to start over Dobbs, which might sound concerning, in my opinion, to Dobbs, knowing that Rudolph was the fourth quarterback coming into training camp, and now he's starting over someone who's in a position battle. But Dobbs himself, man, he performed great tonight.
Yeah, after what we saw, Dobbs, performed absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, he did, and we'll get into Dobbs later, but we're going to start with Rudolph. Rudolph didn't have too much of a good start because his first throw in the first play of the game was a pick six.
To Tremont Williams, I believe.
Yeah, in the first series overall, he just looked very nervous, very pressured. And I think most of that has to do with him getting his first career start in this early in the preseason.
Of course.
It's something that it's probably because he wasn't expecting it. He wasn't expecting it to start, especially this early in the preseason. That probably has to do with why he didn't really perform too much.
Right, exactly.
And now he did get a little warmed up because since that play, he threw a nice touchdown pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. And but I will say that he did look uncomfortable in most terms, and he does struggle with ball security, but at the same time, this was not only his first career start, but he mostly had backups around him. Most of our second and third string backups, they're not really too stellar.
Exactly, because if you look at, the touchdown pass he threw to Juju Smith-Schuster, he had most of the starters in, and he felt more comfortable.
Right, and
after that play, he had the backups and didn't feel very comfortable at all.
Exactly.
I'm trying to make sense with this decent performance that he had.
Right, and there's so much that he could do with those specific players. And I'm going to go with the offensive line here. You look at our line, specifically the depth. You look at B.J. Finney. He's really the only good backup we got. Chuck Okorafor, he's a backup.
And he's only a rookie.
Right. That's why, man, he was a rookie. Well, he is a rookie. Matt Fielder isn't too stellar. He has some experience under us, but overall he hasn't really shown much being a... He's an okay backup. I wouldn't say he's really too good, though.
Well, of course, and Jake first of all, Gerald Hawkins obviously out for the entire season, so we had to bring. We didn't bring in, but we promoted Jake Rogers.
And then we brought in Zach Banner, who was a free agent, obviously, and we brought him in due to the injury. And there's a reason why those guys are third team.
Yeah, because after what we've seen from them, they could barely block anything.
Right, and that's why they were third team, and they're going to have to eventually step up to be the backups, which,
that did cause Mason some trouble.
Right, and that's kind of now I've seen a lot of people give a lot of criticism, a lot of hate for Rudolph because he had 5 for 13 for 47 yards and a touchdown and a pick. And listen, I know that may not seem too well, that may not sound too good, but here's the thing. Not only was it his first career start, but he had second and third string backups with him on the offensive line and on the receivers. There's so much he could do.
Exactly.
The only starters he really had was B.J. Finney, Juju Smith-Schuster, and James Washington.
That's about it.
There's so much he could do. I don't want to sound too biased with him, but there's so much that he could do with second and third string backups.
Yeah.
And not to mention, he's also a rookie. We don't really expect him to come out blazing.
Yeah, like a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers
or Ben
Roethlisberger himself.
Right, he's a rookie, and there's a reason why he was the fourth quarterback.
Right.
So, and that's why we brought him in. Not because we're planning long term for our future. We didn't draft him. Now, we could have drafted him in the first, second round, but we didn't. And we obviously, he was still there in the third round, and we traded up to get him because we were thinking long term, and that's why we brought him in to develop under guys like Ben and Landry and Dobbs.
Of course.
So, and the thing is, it's not like that he's going to be the immediate starter or the immediate backup. He's going to be the third, maybe fourth stringer.
And he's going to continue to develop. He's going to continue to get better.
Yeah, and he'll only get better with development.
Exactly.
So give him a few years of development, and he'll only get better. But in my honest opinion, he had a decent performance tonight. You know, some of his throws were a little good. You know, some were off, but...
And the players that he had around him, he did what he could.
Right, and he
especially for his first start.
Right. So, you know, I don't want to sound too biased, but at the same time, I'm trying to shed some light on why his performance was not too...
That makes sense of it.
Right.
So. Or why his performance wasn't too spectacular and what we all expected it to be.
Right.
But again, you know, he did what he could.
Right. And, you know, for a rookie, and with second string and third string backups, and like we said, his first career start, and this early in the preseason, which we said probably he wasn't even expecting, he had so much pressure and uncomfortability on top of him.
Exactly.
So there's really so much he could do. You know, we're still high on Dobbs. Well, not Dobbs. Well, we are high on Dobbs, but we are still high on Rudolph. And like we said, a few years under his belt, you know, and with development, he's only going to get better.
Exactly.
You know, so that's why we drafted him. That's why he's our third, fourth guy. You know, he's going to develop, and we're obviously going to develop him to be our long-term solution after Ben hangs him up.
Right.
So that's our thoughts on Rudolph. Overall, I think he had a good performance, or a decent performance. And I think he'll only get better, though.
Of course.
He'll only get better with development. And these next 2 weeks are going to be interesting to see how he actually performs. Hope he performs better and show some signs of potential, because he showed some signs of potential to me, in my honest opinion.
Absolutely.
You know, like we said, you know, there's just so much he could do with the players around him.
Right.
He had backups. And I want to give a huge shout out to Steel Jedi, because it's something we talked about throughout the game. It's something that we both agree on completely.
Uh-huh.
You know, we were talking about this throughout the entire game, and we both agree, you know, because he had backups in. Second, third string guys. And there's a reason why those guys are third string, because they did nothing to help Rudolph whatsoever.
Exactly.
He, like we said, there's so much he could do. You know, like I said, I don't want to sound biased, but I'm trying to rationalize his performance.
Of course.
So, with development, with a few years on his belt, Rudolph's only going to get better, and I'm excited for that. So,
yeah.
As for Josh Dobbs, I'm not joking. His first throw was a pick six. Both Rudolph and Dobbs' first throws were pick sixes. I'm not even joking. However,
something that we obviously did not expect whatsoever.
Right, and it's not really a good way to start the game, and not a good way to start your performance and get warmed up.
However, right after that, Dobbs just performed spectacular.
He performed very impressive, in my opinion. Seriously, he looked very good.
He looked amazing.
He looked very good, man, and he connected very well with James Washington throughout this game, man.
He definitely played a lot better from last week when we faced the
Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles. So, I don't know why I had a major brain fart.
Yeah, but
must be just this major loss right here.
Right, but plus it's 11:40 right now, and we're trying to make this video just to get it out of the way and get it up for you guys. So we're kind of tired. So,
but anyway, Joshua Dobbs had an amazing performance. He connected well with James Washington.
And James Washington
several times.
Yeah, and James Washington himself, man, he had 5 receptions, 114 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
And most of his receptions were huge, dude. Like his first touchdown was a complete veteran play and catch, dude. If you go back and watch it, that's something you don't see most rookies do.
Exactly. Now, it's amazing.
Dobbs' throw was a little underthrown, but Washington playing because this is only his second game in the NFL. He played like a veteran and caught the ball over the defender spectacularly, and even kept his feet in bounds to make sure that the catch was complete.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's freaking amazing.
Right.
He's making plays that you see from like a Michael Thomas or a DeAndre Hopkins. If you want to go like way back then, maybe an Andre Johnson,
right, or an Odell,
or Terrell Owens.
Right.
Like he's making these kind of plays and catches that are just amazing. You rarely see this from a rookie.
Exactly. And now we're not comparing him to those guys, although he has potential to perform on the levels of some of those. But like you said, you know, you don't see those plays for most rookies. And someone like a second rounder, someone is really sleeping on, that's a hell of a play.
Absolutely.
And that's not the only big play he made, because he made a nice long reception from Josh Dobbs as well, and he even made a fantastic adjustment for a contested touchdown catch as well. If you go back and watch his highlights, you'll see a lot of potential from James Washington, dude.
It's just fantastic. James Washington is going to be a freaking beast for us.
Absolutely.
He's shown in training camp. He's shown in preseason already throughout the first 2 weeks.
Right.
He's going to be a freaking beast for this offense.
Right.
He's going to be a beast for Ben Roethlisberger.
Right. And now, granted, he was going up against backups, but still, he performed spectacular. He shed some light on most of his talent. Imagine him with someone like because he did those plays with Josh Dobbs as quarterback. Imagine him with Ben, and him and Slaughter or the outside either way, because he's versatile himself.
Exactly.
He's going to be a beast with this fucking team, dude. He's a freak. I'm excited to see what he can do, man.
Same here, dude. Same here.
He's going to be a monster. But as for Josh Dobbs, man, He had a great performance. I was extremely impressed with Dobbs, man.
Besides the pick six, after that, he performed spectacularly.
Yeah.
We went 12 for 18 for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns, plus the pick, but still.
Right.
Fantastic performance.
He looked great. Seriously, he was very impressive.
He is definitely making a strong case to make the 53-man roster.
And another thing I want to add is that he looked very comfortable. And his composure was much better compared to last week. He looked very comfortable in the pocket.
Absolutely.
He made some great plays. He shed some blocks. He ran the ball a few times, which looked very impressive. And that's one thing I love about Dobbs, that he can work with his feet, and he's very effective with it.
Exactly. That's what I love about Dobbs.
Right.
He's a spectacular football player. And he just needs to work on the decision making.
Right. And
which he did in this game.
But, and I want to give a huge shout out to Still Logic, because he mentioned this in our Facebook group chat. What a year under his belt can do to a player.
Exactly.
And look what it's done to Dobbs. And like you said, he's making a strong case to make the 53.
Exactly. It's phenomenal what he's doing.
And at this point, I think we should now. I don't want to, jump on his boat too early after one game. And these next 2 games are going to be very crucial for him. But from what I've seen, I hope he continues it. And if he does, I think it's a no-brainer who makes the 53.
Yeah, man.
In my honest opinion. Well, yeah. I hope so.
I mean, both quarterbacks, Mason Rudolph did pretty decent for the guys he had around him. And Josh Dobbs is definitely, the better quarterback overall out of both Dobbs and Mason.
Right.
He's played spectacular. He's definitely upgrading.
Right.
I really hope it continues.
Right.
Same with Rudolph.
Of course. And that mostly has to do with him having a year under his belt and learning the playbook. Rudolph, like we said, he's a rookie. He's going to learn the playbook. He's going to be more comfortable. And with a few years under development, he's going to get better.
Yeah.
And same thing will be said with Dobbs. And I'm hoping that we keep Dobbs, because I want to see a nice competitive battle between Dobbs and Rudolph when Ben hangs them up, because that's just going to make both players even better. That's going to be a fun battle to watch.
Absolutely.
That's what I want, man.
Absolutely.
And either way, I can't really go wrong. You can't go wrong, because they're both good backup, or they're both good quarterbacks, and they have the potential to be great quarterbacks in this league.
Absolutely.
So either way, you can't go wrong about it. So
the quarterbacks played very good. Now on to James Conner. James Conner is the motherfucking future of this goddamn team. No doubt about it anymore.
Exactly. I can't speak.
The rushing plays that he did on that one drive, I think it was the second drive of the Steelers' offense of the game, were just absolutely spectacular. Back to back, fantastic rushing plays all the way to a touchdown.
Including one that the last one resulting in a 26-yard rushing touchdown. I don't know if it's just me. I know damn well it's not me, but Conner looks much faster, more explosive. His burst is more aggressive. He's more aggressive overall. His burst is incredible. He's looking more confident. He's looking more fierce. I'm sorry, and I don't want to jump on his boat early, but from what I've seen these past 2 weeks, James Conner is the fucking future at the running back position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love Le'Veon Bell as a player. I appreciate everything he's done on the field. Not so much off the field, but Bell,
move to the side, Bell, because James Conner is taking your spot.
I love Bell. I would love us to resign him, but I don't think it's going to happen. And James Conner is making a case. Dude, you give him more reps, you give him more time with the ball, he'll make a strong case and he'll open more eyes to make that starting
as if
job.
He hasn't already. He's going to continue
Exactly, and that's the scary thing.
And you got to think about the rushing plays. He only had some starters. Imagine if he had the full starters of the offensive line.
Imagine him behind a Villanueva or Ramon Foster or Marquise Pouncey or David DeCastro or Marcus Gilbert all together. Are you kidding me?
That's scary.
He had, I believe, 5 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown?
It's just spectacular.
He was limited, and that's what he gave us.
James Conner is just so explosive. He's hard to take down. He just makes running the ball look easy.
He does.
That's just how damn good he is. He's phenomenal.
No homo, I'm in love with James Conner. As a player. As
am I, bro.
He is the future at a running back. There is no doubt in my mind anymore. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I don't give a fuck what anyone shows me. There's no doubt in my mind. We don't need Le'Veon Bell. And if you look at what Jalen Samuels and even Fitzgerald Toussaint did tonight, we don't need Bell.
We don't.
We have good depth. We have good players at the run back position. James Conner can take the load himself. Jalen Samuels is versatile himself, and he had a good game himself. And Fitzgerald's a I'm not big on him, but he's actually upgrading. Stephen Ridley himself as well.
Exactly.
We don't need Bell, dude. Like I said, we love Bell. We want us to sign him, but I don't think we will because he's being too fucking greedy. And his off-the-field shit is just too much on this team.
It's a big distraction from our goal.
It is.
And he's always a big drama queen.
Right. And
we can't have that.
Exactly. And the way I see it, he only has about 2-3 years left in his prime. So you want to give this dude all this money only for him to slim down in about 2-3 years.
Exactly.
When you have someone young and fresh and explosive in James Conner, dude. I'm getting excited thinking about it.
Exactly, dude.
Wow.
Like, James Conner is the future at the running back position for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He is.
No doubt about it.
He is. And I'm excited to see it, man. I actually hope Bell holds out. Because I want to see Conner thrive. I want to see him, prove everyone wrong. I want him to open eyes.
Exactly.
Seriously.
I think I heard Mike Tomlin say, when Bell comes, to the Steelers, when he returns, that there will be consequences for Bell. What I would do with Bell, I would just sit him.
Or trade him.
I wouldn't have him play.
Or trade him.
I would definitely trade him.
I'm completely up for a trade.
Absolutely. That there's going to be consequences for Le'Veon Bell. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm sitting him. I'm not letting him play.
And speaking of Mike Tomlin, I've noticed a lot of good, something new about Tomlin. Something more aggressive.
He's got a more aggressive attitude.
He's got an old school head coach attitude, I don't want to say he's like him, but he has something close to a Bill Cowher type of attitude. Aggression. He's obviously not on the level of Bill Cowher, and I don't think anyone ever will, but, he's shedding some light on some aggression there.
Exactly.
I hope we see it, man, because that's something he's lacked for over a decade. And that's something that his coaching staff needs. Yeah. So I'm liking it. So I just want to throw that out there. But that's the offense, man. So
offense did what they could.
Yeah, offense did what they could. Offense definitely played much better than the defense. And speaking of the defense, as a whole, looked very sloppy. They're still lacking on tackles.
The pass coverage is still they still need to work on that. And the decision making, for just stuttered. For the coaching staff, they need to get better.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, starters or backups, you got to get better with the decision making,
right?
The coaching decisions,
right?
Because that's what worries me heading into the regular season. If this happens in the regular season, we're going to be in big trouble.
Right. And now, granted, we didn't have most of our starters in like a Hayden or a Hilton or I think Burns was playing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He was. But
I know we had Burnett and I believe Terrell Edmonds starting at the safety. Sean Davis wasn't in there. Obviously, Davis is more experienced. But we didn't have most of our starters in, so I'm not going to be too harsh. And remember, this is preseason. But at the same time, we still got to work on it because
this is a glimpse of what the defense could very well look like, and I hope it doesn't look like this.
This can easily transition into the regular season, and I hope that's not the case.
Of course,
we all know the past few years that's been a major issue, and especially at the inside linebacker position, man, because the inside linebacker battle is not looking too stellar. Me personally, I haven't seen much or anything that sticks out about Bostic or Matakavich.
Exactly. We haven't seen any, I wouldn't say progression. I mean, we've seen some decent progression, but nothing major.
Yeah.
That, speaks out holy fucking shit.
Yeah, exactly. The inside linebacker position outside of Vince Williams is looking very concerning.
Exactly.
Bostic's not showing much. Matakavich isn't showing much.
If this continues, the Steelers may have to sign someone like maybe Navarro Bowman, or if they want to, bring Lawrence Timmons back.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be up for Navarro Bowman at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Honestly, he might be our only option, unless someone like a Matthew Thomas, who looked very impressive tonight, steps up. But are you really going to trust the undrafted free agent who has no experience in the NFL?
Exactly. So if this continues, the Steelers are going to have to make a pretty difficult decision.
Exactly.
And I hope they do that because...
Well, it may be difficult in some terms, but honestly, it can be very easy. It's simple. Navarro Bowman, he's right there. He's healthy. Sign him, what's it called? The veteran minimum or some shit? I can remember the term.
But I get what you're saying, but, we got to do something with the inside linebacker position.
Right, because this is very concerning, and either way, we have to address it.
Right.
We have to, so.
For defense, it wasn't really nothing major besides... Probably Bud Dupree, Dupree looked solid tonight.
Yeah,
from his comfortable position when he was playing in Kentucky.
Right, because he's obviously him and Watt obviously switch positions or sides, and Dupree is obviously now playing outside linebacker,
Uh-huh.
and he's looking more impressive. He's showing a much better burst. He's looking faster, more aggressive on the edge, and he even accumulated a sack tonight.
Yeah.
He's applying much more pressure, and I hope he's consistent with it and he shows more of that because
Exactly.
we need to. Because he hasn't really shown too much of the first-round talent. He applies decent pressure, but he can never get to the quarterback.
Exactly.
But with him switching to the right side where he's more comfortable, more agile, and more, just familiar, could work better for him.
Yeah, not only are we hoping, but the Steelers as well are hoping, that this could very well work for Dupree.
Right.
Because we know Dupree's a talented athlete. He just needs to be more consistent.
Right. And, I understand it was against backups, but it's still good to see that he's, showing some of his talent. And he's shedding some light on his talent.
Yeah.
And I hope that light is just, what the hell? It gets brighter in the regular season.
Right.
So.
But overall, it was a sloppy performance, really. Mainly from the defense. The offense did what they could.
Right, but,
But overall, it's just preseason, That's basically it.
Yeah, it's preseason. Like we said, this is a time for guys who never played in the NFL to play in the NFL. It's a time for backups to make their case, for sleepers to make their case, for rookies to make their case, and for starters to, stay healthy and sit and get warmed up and get comfortable and get the rust off them. So,
Right.
But at the same time, we just hope that most of this performance doesn't transition into the regular season.
Of course. I mean, we still got 2 weeks of the preseason, so hopefully, they can upgrade from this stuff.
Of course, and they bounce back from most of this. So.
Yeah.
Overall, so that's our opinion on it. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Give us your reactions and what you're mostly looking forward to for the Titans game next week. So it should be a very interesting game, and like we said, these next 2 games are going to be very crucial for most players, especially Rudolph and Dobbs.
Yeah.
So should be very interesting, man. But anyway, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace!